Hey everybody, it's Sam with Wrestling Overtime, and we are giving you your news and updates to get your day started today on March the 4th. We also want to tell you what's going to be happening tonight on NXT and AEW to get you ready for both shows. Now, as far as news updates, we want to talk about the WWE abandoning certain angles. Now, some of them, hey, I'm alright with them abandoning. The Lana Lashley angle, they seem to be slowing that down as far as Lashley was actually at Raw backstage, but Lana wasn't. Lana was said to be working on a movie. I haven't heard anything about that, but they are slowing that angle down, and Lashley may actually be stalling. He's not much without Lana, and so he needs to hope that Lana comes back soon and they can prepare another angle for him. But part of that last angle was Rusev, and Rusev has totally disappeared from TV. He's having problems renewing his contract, whether he's actually going to stay with the WWE or he's going to look for a more pared down schedule by maybe going down to NXT, or is he wanting to go to the Indies? Is he wanting to go to Impact Wrestling or AEW? I think we're going to have to wait around and see what happens with him. Boy, I would really like to see him in AEW and see his creative juices over there. I love his personality. He's playful, yet crazy, and can be evil when he wants to be. And I think AEW could actually take advantage of that with a lot of different marketing strategies. Now, another one whose idea has totally been abandoned is the Lana Liv Morgan angle. That just totally got forgotten. Now, you heard me back in January throwing a fit about it. It didn't make any sense. It seemed totally out of the blue to get Liv Morgan back on TV this way, especially now that they've forgotten the angle, because now Ruby Riott was ready to come back from her double shoulder surgery. So therefore, they could have just waited a month. So WWE decided to bring Ruby Riott back, and she has totally went after Liv Morgan, and even to a point, Sarah Logan. So I'm kind of glad that the whole Lashley, Lana, Rusev, Liv Morgan fiasco is over. And I have to say that I'm kind of glad that we have new angles, like the Ruby Riott Liv Morgan one. And even though it's not playing out on TV, we have the Rusev angle. Where's he going to go and what's he going to do? Now, if you were shocked and surprised as I was, then I need to apologize to you about Monday Night Raw. I should have did a news and updates over the weekend. Told you we would start around March 1st, and we did. But I should have been giving you an update on Asuka, because when I sat down and started watching Raw, I was still expecting Shayna Baszler to take on Asuka. But from what everybody is saying, I was listening to Dave Metzler. He's saying Asuka's injury was totally legit. He stated that she got injured in a house show in Salisbury, Maryland, and that right now WWE only thinks that it's a sprained wrist. And they decided to keep her out of Monday Night Raw basically just as a precaution and to let it heal up, because they're hoping she can wrestle this Sunday at Elimination Chamber. Well, me too, because Asuka's really the only one in the Elimination Chamber that Shayna Baszler is not going to buzzsaw through. And who wants a match where we just are going to watch people snap, tap, and nap all day? Because we all know Baszler's going to win this. Unless would they throw us a swerve with Asuka? I think Asuka is the only one that they would do a swerve with, and I can't see them doing it. But anyway, Fightful Select is reporting that AEW's talent contracts have gone through some changes in the last couple months. They are reporting that some stars, quote, either aren't allowed or want to work independent dates, and then there are others who have embraced it, end quote. So we've got some AEW talent that want to go back to working some indie dates, and they want to make sure that it's in their contract that they can do that. And then there's some AEW stars that have realized they really like not working as many dates. They are enjoying being on podcasts, being on radio, being available for interviews, having time to practice, having time with their families, and everything else that AEW is allowing them to do. So they're wanting their contracts to be rewritten. A lot of AEW talent has significantly rose their pay for independent dates because they've been on TNT and the pay-per-views, and they basically just raised their star power. I'm not 100% sure how much they've raised it, but I can't help but think that if Darby Allin or Sammy Guevara are wanting to do independent dates, or the indies are wanting them, that their contracts have had to go up just because they have turned out to be big superstars in AEW, and AEW is pushing them. Now, on last night's, Tuesday night's WWE Backstage, I know from the ratings not very many of you are watching, but you should have, because Jeff Hardy was on there. Jeff Hardy spoke about his October 2019 arrest. He also talked about when he got released that he went to inpatient rehab for the first time in his life. Yes, you heard me. And that's the reason why it was so hard for me to talk, because I can't believe it. Jeff Hardy went to inpatient rehab for the first time in his whole life. Now, if any of you have been following Jeff Hardy for any length of time, I remember following the Hardy Boys back in, my early 20s. My sister was in love with Jeff Hardy. I can't imagine all the problems that he's had with drugs and alcohol that he's never been to inpatient rehab. Shame on you, WWE, for not helping him. I know that, that was back before, companies help people with drugs, but come on, WWE. The Hardy's Boys were outrageous, major stars back then with Edge and Christian and the Dudley Boys and tables, ladders, and chairs. And for you not to care enough about him to put him in inpatient rehab, man, oh man, that's just sad. And then I think of all the other companies the Hardy Boys have went through and how much money they've had to have made through the years that someone didn't step up and say, hey, Jeff, you've got to go to inpatient rehab. Jeff also stated on WWE Backstage that he's 100% cleared for ring action and that he hasn't spoken to his brother Matt about leaving the WWE. This, I'm not sure about. A lot of people are saying that Matt and Jeff haven't been speaking a lot because they're kind of caught in the WWE web. Matt's contract, we all know, ran out on March 1st. However, WWE decided to extend Jeff's contract. Since he got injured, and then he got arrested, then he went to inpatient rehab, and then he actually had to physically rehab his injury. They've added more time to his contract. So Jeff Hardy's contract did not expire on March 1st. It's unknown his exact date that his expires. Matt, however, is wanting to move on. And now Jeff is ready to come back to the WWE. So, Matt is left with a decision. Does he join his brother in WWE to help him? Does Matt join the WWE and go down to NXT? There are rumors that WWE wants Matt Hardy not only to be on the NXT TV show, but also to be a coach and help backstage. Then, of course, AEW definitely wants him. And there are rumors flying everywhere that he is going to be the exalted one of the Dark Order on AEW television, and that he might even get revealed as soon as tonight. So, Matt Hardy's kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. Does he stay in WWE does he stay in WWE with his brother Jeff to kind of take care of him? Or does he choose the greener pastures out there? So, can't wait to hear what's going on. And if Matt does leave, does Vince take it out on Jeff? And how does Jeff handle that? What kind of response is he going to get? They're bringing back Edge, and they possibly could be bringing back Jeff Hardy. And they've already got Randy Orton. Man, what a triangle those three can definitely weave, and the great matches we could see out of that. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about the NXT card tonight that we know about. We don't know a whole lot about it. They have advertised the 2 steel cage matches. The first steel cage that we got was Tegan Nox versus Dakota Kai. I think this is going to be an interesting format for these 2 performers. I hope that they come up with some outstanding spots and that this is an interesting match. However, NXT, I'm warning you, with these 2, quicker and faster is better. Because I really, really want to see them fly all over the place, doing different spots, getting in and out of holds, really ramping it up. I don't want this to be a half an hour long plotting nightmare mess. So I hope that these 2 girls have been practicing this for over a week and have really got it down. Now, of course, our next steel cage, which is what I'm going to assume is going to be our main event, is Roderick Strong versus the Velveteen Dream. Man, oh man, did Velveteen Dream really get under Strong's skin wearing his family on his tights. And I love that they're going to be in a steel cage. Now, I can't help but think that there's going to be some kind of shenanigans going on with someone else getting involved. But these 2 in a cage, can't wait. Should be an unbelievable match. And then they just announced yesterday that they've got Lorcan and Birch versus the Undisputed Era. And I'm looking forward to hopefully being a pretty good match. I don't think it's going to steal the show or anything. I think it's going to be in the middle of the show. But hopefully it'll be good enough that the people that start off watching NXT won't flip over to AEW. But the question that I want answered, I'm not even really into these 3 matches that I know about so far. The real question that I want to know is, what's next for Ciampa and Gargano? What are they gonna pull next? Where are they gonna go with this story? I know it's sad. I know a lot of us love wrestling for wrestling's sake. But like I've told you in past podcasts, man, oh man, I love good stories. And these 2 can tell it. So I want to know what's next. But here's the thing. I also want to know, is Adam Cole and Finn Balor going to get involved? because I kind of want them involved. I know that they can have a storyline of their own. I know they can go off and have storylines with others. But can you imagine these four going after each other for, say, I don't know, the next 6 months? I know they're wanting Ciampa Gargano at WrestleMania. But can you imagine these four going from WrestleMania to SummerSlam and the stories that they could tell? I mean, I'm just dying sitting here thinking about it. Now, let's kind of switch it up. Let's talk about AEW tonight. They are in Denver, Colorado, and they are calling it the Revolution Fallout. And I can't help but wonder what is going to go on. Revolution was awesome. So we've got Jon Moxley and Darby Allin, two of my favorites, going up against Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara, two of my other favorites. I can't wait. I know Jericho's going to be whining about his stitches, and he's probably not going to want to get in there and wrestle a lot, so Sammy's going to have to take a bunch of bumps and going to have to hold his own. But man, oh man, I can't wait for Moxley and Darby to get in. I feel like they're cut from the same cloth. I feel like those two have so much to give, and I can't wait to see this one tonight. Now, the surprise for me at Revolution was Colt Cabana coming out in Chicago, and then Tony Khan afterwards in the media scrum saying they had actually signed Colt Cabana. Guys, I remember Colt Cabana being Scotty Goldman. I remember his podcast. His was one of the first podcasts that I listened to. I followed his trial with CM Punk against the WWE doctor. I love me some Colt Cabana. He is just as cute as he can be. And he's teaming up tonight with SCU. And yeah, it's the full line of SCU. So it's going to be Colt Cabana, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, and Scorpio Sky versus the Dark Order. And who they're putting out there for the Dark Order? No. It's not the Creepers. It's Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, John Silver, and Reynolds. Now, in this match, I fully expect Colt Cabana and SCU to totally wear them out. But we know that that's not going to happen. There's not going to surprise me at all if sometime during this match we find out who the cult-like leader of the Dark Order is. Who is the Exalted One? I know all of you out there saying it's Matt Hardy. And I know everybody is saying, no, it's not Christopher Daniels. Because he came out at Revolution and proved he was not the Exalted One. Guys, I don't believe it. I think AEW is going to totally swerve us. I think sometime Christopher Daniels turns on his boys. He's the Exalted One. He becomes the fallen angel. And somehow, I think Matt Hardy comes up to go against him and brings his broken universe against the cult. Anyway, we'll see. But the next one, of course, is Pac. against Chuck Taylor, and he's bringing Trent and Orange Cassidy. And if you're like me, you love Pac versus Orange Cassidy. I mean, who doesn't like Orange Cassidy? But here's the question that I want to know: is Pentagon and Phoenix getting involved in this again? And why did they get involved at Revolution with the Best Friends? I didn't really get this one. I think Orange Cassidy would have pulled off the win if they don't get involved. So, are Pentagon and Phoenix just after Best Friends? Or do they have something to do with Pac? And what's going to go on there tonight? And then the last match that they've got scheduled is Jake Hager versus Cutie Marshall. And I want to know, is Dustin going to be in his corner? Because Cutie Marshall, he was doing things backstage. He was handling and helping Cody and Dustin out. And this is his second match. They've been putting him out there. He had a 6-man match where, he was out there with Dustin last time. So does Dustin show up in his corner to kind of distract Jake Hager? And does this one end up being a DQ? Now, they also say that Big Swole has a match in order to get her in line with the title. I noticed that in Denver, they're doing a meet and greet, and one of the people that you can meet and greet is Nyla Rose. So I look for Nyla Rose to be shown sometime tonight, and maybe even get involved in Big Swole's match. Now, the next 3 topics that I've got, they aren't listed on AEW's website as, in matches or something's going to go on with them. But I can't help but think, what about Cody? Are they going to do an interview with him? Where is his head? He's been thinking about this match with MJF forever. Now, I'm like a lot of fans. I can't help but think Cody's tattoo threw him off. But where is his head? And is he going to do a big interview with Tony Schiavone? Is he going to talk to us? Where's he going to go next? Is he going to disappear for a little bit? Is he going to go after Wardlow? Is he still going to pursue MJF? What's going on? The next thing, of course, is what's MJF going to do? He's better than everybody. So we know he's got to go after the championship. Does he want to do that? Does he want to take on Moxley? I'm sure he does. I'm sure he thinks he's better than he is. But right now, Jericho is still fighting with Moxley. Does MJF want to get involved with Jericho? Jericho doesn't play nice, and he's got someone backing him up too. So exactly, are we going to see Wardlow versus Jake Hager at some point? The next thing that I want to know is what's up with Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks, and are we going to see them tonight? Are we going to see Hangman come out and drink with the crowd? Are the Young Bucks going to make more comments about his drinking? What are we going to see? Are we going to see them, actually get involved with things? How are we going to see them get involved with things? So I've got a lot of things on my mind with NXT and AEW tonight, and I can't wait to bring you both results shows. As soon as they're over, we're going to come at you with separate results shows. They'll probably be 5 to 7 minutes long, just giving you the nitty-gritty, the down and dirty of who won and if any stories progressed. And then you'll get reviews later tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. But I'm looking forward to talking to you guys soon. This is Sam at Wrestling Overtime. Feel free to holler at us at Wrestling Overtime at gmail.com. hit us up on Wrestling Overtime on our Facebook page or our Twitter page. Let me know if you've got any questions, comments, problems, or protests. And I'll look forward to talking to you soon.